Hey guys, welcome to the Social Examiner. My name is Jess, and here on this platform, we observe the current state of society by reflecting on how we contribute to it as individuals. So today, I am doing a commentary slash review on today's presidential debate. Okay, it took place on CNN, and before I get into what I think about it, let me just do a quick recap on the questions that were asked for this debate and a little bit of a summary of what Biden and Trump replied. All right, so for number one, in dealing with inflation, with the cost of living being raised, okay, prices of gas, groceries, and products are high. Biden is mentioning that the pandemic made things really hard, and how Trump handled COVID and everything really just messed up the economy. So when he came in, he had to do a lot of fixing. He claims that he brought in or helped bring in 15,000 new jobs, 85,000 manufacturing jobs. He also mentions that he helped lower the price of prescription. Okay. He's also just talking about his background, about Pennsylvania and the things that he did there, and the hometown and things that he grew up in, and okay, his values. Okay, start going off on a tangent a little bit, doing some making blanket statements about Trump, and with the chaos and things that he brings, which makes sense, but you need to pinpoint what is the chaos. But most importantly, talk about inflation. Okay, going off on a tangent. And he then starts saying that Trump is awarding the wealthy, and some of his statements were not coherent. Now, Trump is saying that, hey, when I was in office, the economy was doing great, okay? Things were flourishing. The stock market was higher than pre-COVID. Okay, then he started making more blanket statements, Biden is the worst president. Then he jumps to saying, okay, he's going to do a 10% increase on tariff tax. He's saying when he left office, he left it with less to close to 0% of inflation, so that he has no clue what Biden did, because once he got into presidency, everything just went up. And then he started talking about Afghanistan, how he had a strategy on how to pull the troops out safely and more better than what Biden did. And okay, just talking on a tangent. And then now for the question of national debt and how they're going to create policies to help alleviate the debt in our economy. Biden starts talking about blanket statements about the largest national debt was created under Trump's presidency. He talks about he's talking about that we have 1,000 billionaires, and he really just plans to raise the tax that these billionaires will have to pay. More so, people who are making above 400,000, their amount of tax that they have to pay will be much higher than the average working class or people under 400,000. And in turn, Trump is mentioning about how he plans to just do a whole lot of tax cuts. He's saying that he will not raise the tax for the middle working class, mentioning more people died under Biden's administration with the mandated vaccines. He said that was totally wrong. He's talking about how we're no longer a respected nation, and everything's just going downhill. The people are not taking it seriously. Okay, he's just going on and on, not tackling anything having to do with this question, right? Then they move on to talk about Black unemployment, okay? And at this part, I start to just feel really annoyed, okay? I'm tired of the pandering. I'm tired of people just saying Black and Hispanics, minorities, as if they really care. Y'all sling it around like you're saying like. You're just throwing those words around as if you really care for the people. Both of them did not talk about nothing about policies, okay? And we're going to get right into it. So in addressing the black imprisonment, okay, it's really high. Earning less than the white population, all of that, okay? Biden says there has been a lot of progress under his presidency having to do with the black population, okay? Having to do with the private housing that has been made available to them. Also with the child care credit, okay? Reducing child care costs, giving some black families $10,000 cash credit for the first home purchase, and also making health insurance available to minorities. So now Trump, he doesn't really go straight in talking about what he plans to do or whatever. He just talks about, inflation, is due to Biden, his presidency. He just jacked things up. He's making more blanket statements. He just says flat out, hey, Joe Biden's killing y'all blacks and y'all Mexicans, okay? You're Hispanics, okay? He's saying immigration, they're taking y'all's job. He says immigration is taking black jobs. He's just throwing things out there. That is so propagandistic, just to throw those things out there. To say this population of people are just straight up taking your jobs is a blatant lie. Too much generalization will stir up. It can stir up fear. It can stir up anger and hate crimes, pretty much. That is what Trump is insinuating and doing in this moment right here. Just saying blacks, Hispanics, black Hispanics. Both of them are just pandering in communication, not really stating. Biden tried his best to state some of the things that they implemented, but honestly, he was stuttering. It seems a little bit not coherent in some moments, and it's concerning. In addressing that the cost of childcare for 2 children are more than the rent. So for the parents, okay, the childcare cost is outweighing paying rent, okay? That's the level of inflation going on in our economy. Both presidents, they said a lot of things. I don't want to waste time even going into all the details. They did not tackle a single policy on what they plan to do to correct these things in our economy, okay? To push on to the opioid crisis, they barely even answer any questions pertaining to the opioid crisis and the fact that there's a lot of people overdosing and dying, okay? There's an increased death toll with overdoses, okay? All right, part 2. And the concern about their age, okay? Both Trump and mainly Joe Biden's age, okay? There's concern there. Are you guys competent enough to really take on what it is to be a president? Can you hold down the fort, okay? We need strong leaders, honey, more than ever, okay? Can you handle that? All right? So Biden's mentioning, hey, I used to have the issue of being the youngest one in office, okay? First starting off in Senate, okay? He's talking about his run, bringing in 50 million new jobs, okay? Something about computer chips, something about his whole train of thought was all over the place, okay? And Trump, is just saying, he can't catch up. That kind of Sleepy Joe rhetoric. He's too old. He's too frail. He can't handle it. Trump is talking about the physical exams that he went and got. He's good in health. He's saying he took this ambiguous cognitive test. He did not name the cognitive test. What are his results? Is the results up to 100? Was it an IQ test? What are you talking about? But he's saying he aced it. Okay. All right. Biden is saying, hey, don't worry, under my leadership, other countries, they take us seriously. Like, they don't want to play with us. They don't want to mess with us. We got this. Like, we're strong. We're this, we're that. I'm like, sorry. All right. Next question. And it's more so pertaining to Trump. Hey, will you accept the voting and the process and the count and stuff? Will you actually accept that whoever is the winner, is the winner? Okay? You're not going to be screaming, oh, it's rigged, like you did last time, right? And then he goes off on a tangent. He's talking back on, Biden is the worst president. He's the worst president. Oh, if he's the president, we're going to go to World War III. Okay? Saying, oh, this with Ukraine is going to get captured. People don't take us serious. We're stupid. We look stupid out here. You can't compete with Putin. He's just going off on a tangent, not answering the question. And then Biden, he jumps right into the distractions and he's like, oh, Trump, you're a whiner. You whine a lot. Matter of fact, they both whine a lot. And they both are talking in tangent, still not speaking about policy they plan to implement. Wake up, people. The world is watching. Not only are we, the citizens, looking and just seeing like, is there any hope? Are we still going to be going through this inflation? Like, what's going on with our economy? Why is it you guys can't just focus on the prompt and answer this question, not by saying, I feel and I think, and just slurring and sound so, like you're not coherent, hon. What's going on? What's going on with the policies? What's going on with the executive orders y'all plan to just push out there? What's going on? Why all the distraction talk? Y'all talk about golfing and y'all proving each other's strength. Biden's talking about, oh man, I said I was gonna go golfing with you if you could carry your own bag. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Is this a parody? Is this a prank? Both of their closing statements were weak. I'm sorry, babes. You guys are not ready to be the president of the United States. Matter of fact, Trump keep on saying, hey man, I'd rather be in my many places and many buildings and things that I own. I'd rather be on the golf course playing golf. I don't want to really be the president. I'm just coming out here because you're the only, candidate. You can't represent us, so I'm gonna be here and save the day. That's the energy he's giving. He don't really want to be here. He's not really here about the peace. He's not really about delegating and being smart with his words, leading with wisdom. It's giving division. It's giving chaos, distraction, fraud. Okay? He was spewing a lot of things that he's claiming to be facts, and he can say it 10 toes, but it's being fact checked as we speak. It's lies. You're talking scammerish. What's going on? Where's the integrity? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be an ageist. I don't care to participate in the mocking of Joe Biden, saying, oh, sleepy Joe, and making fun of his age. I'm not gonna make fun of him. A lot of us got grandparents, okay? Once you get to a certain age, it's okay and understandable that, the cognitive skills is gonna take a deep end a little bit, okay? It's time for retirement. It's time to relax and enjoy what life you got left. Have fun with your wife. Go home. Drink some tea. It's all right. But what we're not going to do is force our way to show face and be the president when it's visible that you're forgetting a lot of your words. You're forgetting your lines. You're reading your script and you're forgetful. Okay? Unfortunately, to other nations, it's going to show a sign of weakness. It's going to show that we don't got things together and you can't stand 10 toes. You can't stand 10 toes in a debate or in a speech to deliver whatever message you got for the public. It's giving weakness. It's giving disorganized all over this damn stage. And the moderators, I'm sorry, y'all should have cut their mics and say, hey, y'all, if you guys are not going to speak about this topic, we can end this right now. Because all of this talking on a tangent and not talk about policies and stuff, we are disappointed. The public is disappointed. Let's just be clear. Let's stop fronting. Okay, both the Republicans and the Democrats, stop going to gun-ho for these candidates. Okay? They do not have to be our end-all be-all. We need to do a redo. So that means that we need to hold our vote and postpone our elections. Then, honey, let this be the year that we do it. Okay? We, the majority and the public who have a brain and is witnessing what's going on today, we cannot let this slide. Okay? For this to be the first debate, I know the debate is just for us to kind of hear how witty and how sharp and enthusiastic and the energy. Maybe it's a theatrical ploy. I'm not sure what the debates are really used for. But this is a NO. No go. Sorry, we cannot let that slide. This is very disappointing. And when you watch later on for the analysis of this debate, both parties, you know, the Democrats and the Republican commentators or whatever, they did a good job on voicing out their worries, their panic, their disappointment of what we witnessed today. Yeah, it's very concerning. And it's time for us all to pay attention, okay? We cannot solely leave the responsibility of our economy on these folks, on our representatives, whether it's locally or nationally for the presidential, okay? It is now time for us citizens to do our homework, study and observe what's going on in our environment locally, okay, neighborly, citywide, and then statewide, come together on some common solutions that can help us solve our economic problems. I know each state is different, but then now also thinking for us nationally and federal, we need to bring all the states' common denominators of common solutions and now implement them in executive orders to help meet our needs. We don't need the empty promises. No more. We don't need the pandering. We don't need the story. We don't need none of that distraction talk. Okay? Straight up policies being passed. That's part 3, like I was saying. Enough is enough. Okay? I understand. We the people, the majority, the working class, okay? We've been distracted. We actually been running this rat race because the inflation is so high. We're trying to make ends meet, living to paycheck to paycheck, okay? Doing the most. And we kind of just forgotten about our economy. We forgot about doing our homework, doing our own research, and witnessing and observing what's going on in our environment, in our neighborhoods, in our city, in our state, okay? There's things going on, and it's state by state. We do different things, okay? There's different set of laws per state, right? But of course, in a general sense, in a national sense, okay, there's things going on in our economy that need addressing, okay? So when it comes to that, we really need to take 15 to 30 minutes, okay? We can try 15 if we're really that busy and we just need this is something new we need to start doing. We need to start doing research on what's going on in our economy. What is really concerning us, okay? Of course, number one is the jobs, okay? We got a lot of layoffs going on, okay? We need to do our research to see what industries, okay? We need to be producers, number one. I can't wait to just upload my inflation video. Because when I tell y'all, I break it down to the T about inflation and why we're experiencing it right now, okay? But yes, let's take it upon ourselves and do the research. We need to use Google. Google is our friend. We love technology. We love our phones, okay? Now let's set time aside instead of doing TikTok dance videos and binge watching our favorite shows, okay? I know we all love it. Let's do some research and turn our brains on and do our homework. Okay? Once we do our homework, start being creative in your mind and come up with some solutions for what is going on. Okay? If there are jobs that you're wanting to see, if there's certain things you want to see implemented in our society that will be beneficial for the majority of us, put that on paper. Okay? Put that on paper, and now look up the dates of when certain candidates, certain representatives want to come in and represent us. Okay, let's go to those town hall meetings. Let's hear what's going on. Let's hear the concern. And when that candidate start talking too much about once upon a time, when I was sitting in Massachusetts and the blah, 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 just tell them, hey, enough of the small talk. We don't want to hear the story. We don't want to hear some scenarios. We want to hear straight up policies. Okay? Give us a time and a date when this will be passed. Okay? When we all come together, so all the town people, all the city folks, once we come together, we're not going to tackle every issue. Please understand that. Okay? We're not going to meet everybody's needs. But for the common things that we consider beneficial for the majority of us, put that on paper. Make an agreement on those things, and you come up to your representative, the ones who wants to claim to represent y'all. Hey, you're working for us, you're representing us, we the people, okay? Go up to the big house and represent these things. Implement them on this date. Let's get it going. That's all we want to hear. Okay? That's going to require us to set aside our biases and our prejudice nature, cultural biases and whatever stigmas and whatever crap we're participating in right now. We need to come together and be unified and have harmony. Because if we're disunified, honey, we will not get anything done. And we will have ourselves to blame, guys, for why our society is where it is, okay? Enough of blaming the representatives and all that kind of stuff. No, honey. Matter of fact, the majority of us, the general population, the working class, okay, we are the majorities and our representatives are the minorities. Do you hear that? We are the majorities in number and those who are representing us are the minorities. So what does that tell you? It is time for the majority to turn this on, to have our heart on, okay, for the harmony and the unity that it's going to take for us to come together and be unified in making decisions, be unified in making solutions, okay, and a plan to be able to execute. Because if not, and we're all scattered and you're this, you're that, we don't like you, get away, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that, we can't get along. Oh, honey, we're going to experience what it is to not get along. We're going to experience the dysfunction and the chaos that comes from a disunified nation. Okay? It's time for us to do our homework. Do your research. Look up the laws of these so-called candidates who want to represent us. Okay? Look up the laws and say, huh? Not no empty promises and a sweet dream. What is the policies? What's going on? And when is this going to get passed? Oh, you're not going to pass nothing? Oh, you got other interests and it's not about the majority of us? Okay? It's not about bringing jobs for us? No? Okay, you're not representing us. How about that? That's where this is going to have to go. Until we start hearing policies and executive orders getting ready to be signed on the dotted line, oh, honey, we're going to hold our vote. That's where it's going to be headed. We're going to hold our vote, honey. No longer doing this big old protest and whatever, honey. We're going to be like, you're not representing us. Redo. I know they said our election will be what date? Somewhere in November. I forgot what date. Was it on a Tuesday or something? I don't know. We're going to say, oh, we might need to postpone it to December because, y'all not representing us. Oh no, but history, we never changed it and switched it up like that in history. Well, it's time to switch it up right now. If not, this decision is going to be a detriment to us if we're going to have a disorganized front like this. Nope. 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 We're not doing it. So stay tuned for more. I'm going to drop my inflation video probably Saturday. So stay tuned to that. All right. Keep doing research. If you want to keep on tuning into the debates, I might, because I'm hoping it's going to switch up. I'm hoping I'm going to hear more policies. But if not, that's fine. I'm going to, in the meantime, do my homework, write things down, be vigilant in what's going on in my local neighborhood and city and state. And then I need to be about it. Yeah. It's time to be about it. It's time to have these conversations. And it's time for us to not get offended on the certain side, whether you're Republican or Democrat, honey, that crap don't matter. It's about the policies, and you need to have your ears open and have your eyeballs to visually see what's in the policy. All right? Good night.